Hello, welcome back to Parser Hacking. We are working on our recursive descent parser for the Ruby language. We're going to replace the parser that we've been using with a homegrown one that we're writing. And if you saw in the last video, we worked on simple assignment parsing just x equals 1. And I believe in the last video I did x equals 1 plus 2, and we got that figured out and the precedents all figured out. And then since the last video, I went ahead and worked on the syntax error case where you just have x equals, nothing, end of string. And I worked on instance variables and class variables and global variables and constants. And I'm not going to go into the code. It was kind of uninteresting and just required a switch statement and a little bit of refactoring, but nothing too crazy. And then I did, what else did I work on since the last video? I had some time today, so just kind of got in the zone and made some things happen. Worked on escape characters and strings. So now if there's like a \n or a \t, we tokenize that properly, and that was all in the tokenizer, in the lexer. And then, that was the failing for assignment. Yep, I already talked about that. I worked on making it so that now we return a sexp value instead of an array. So I don't know if you noticed in some of the last videos, but when something didn't match in the tests, we were it just didn't look right. So I tidied that up a little bit. And then the big one today was I made it so that every keyword gets its own token type. Whereas before we had a keyword type followed by, oops, where'd that go? A keyword type followed by the literal string of the keyword itself. And I was already noticing that I was going to have to be doing like string comparisons, and I didn't like that, so I actually turned each of these into their own token type. So it will be a little bit easier to find what we're looking for and match on stuff in our parser. So all that out of the way, what I want to do tonight is work on method definition, and all I care about for now is just an empty method with nothing in it. Going to be really simple, and then if that goes well, then we can move on to something else, or I might call it a night. But yeah, so I just want to recognize the def keyword and then a method name, no arguments, and then any number of new lines or semicolons. In fact, let's go ahead and just uncomment this because it's essentially the same, and then an end keyword. And so we want to do the right thing here. Yeah. So what that returns is a defn, D-E-F-N, the name of the argument, a list of args, in our case will be empty, and then a nil because the body is nil for the method. So what we're going to do for this is what? What are we going to do? So let's go to our parser. As we talked about before, this is a null denotation because we don't need anything to the left of it to recognize it. It just stands on its own. So def is a null denotation. So we're going to go to our null denotation. This is all from the Prat parser video. If you want to learn about that, it's in the video about Prat parsing. And so we want to go to this method here, the function. Sorry, I use Ruby names a lot, but member function here, and we want to parse def. These aren't exactly, I don't know what order these are in, but I'm going to put this here. I'm going to say def keyword, and we're going to return a pointer to the parse def function, which we haven't written yet, but we get to write it now. And I don't know, I'm really struggling with alphabetizing these. I kind of get OCD occasionally. I'm not actually OCD. I'm probably offending people who are actually OCD, but some part of me wants to move this up here and move this down here so that the function pointers are alphabetical. I don't know. Something tells me that would just make it a little easier to find what I'm looking for. So let's go back to here, and I'm not going to worry about alphabetizing this right now. Def. And let's just kill all of that. Okay, so if we got in this method, we know that we're on the def keyword token. We can advance past that. And we want to get an identifier. And so we'll just say that the method name, we'll use our existing parse identifier method, which parses an identifier. Pretty simple. Now I want to make sure, what if this returns? It should work. What if it doesn't return anything? Okay, well, we don't have a test for that. So I'm just going to pretend it always works. And until we have a test that's failing, I'm not going to worry about it. And next we need to, now again, our test is just the def keyword, the name of the method, and then new lines, and then an end keyword. So if you look at this method up here, this tree method, this does pretty close to what we want already. We do this validation to make sure we don't have an invalid token. We want to just copy this. And I would put it here like this, but I have a feeling I'm going to use this a lot because there's lots of cases where you have something and then yada, 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 and then an end keyword. Blocks are like this, dot, 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 end, loop, do, well, I guess that's a block also. Wait, is loop? Now I'm confusing myself. Anyway, there's lots of cases where you have a body of something and then an end keyword. So why don't we paste, oh, where did it go? There it is. Paste this here, and we have a node parse body. I'm going to call it body because it's a body of something. I would call it a block because we have this block node, but that's not to be confused with a block in Ruby. So I'm not really happy about this naming collision, but it's what we have. So I'm going to rename this to body, rename this to body, rename this to body. Okay, so we have this thing that will parse as long as it's not end of file, but we also want it to do as long as it's not the is end keyword. Is end keyword, which we don't have yet. So let's go build that. So a lot of times I like to write the code I want to use and then go write the actual definition for it. And obviously there's different ways of doing it. So we'll go to our token header. We'll say is end keyword. These are just nice little convenience functions. I could obviously just check the type, but I like the readability of it. Okay, so does that make this happy? No, I gotta use a dot, of course. So this is gonna read the body as long as it's not the end of the file and as long as we're not at the end of token, the end keyword. It'd be cool if we could validate that we did hit an end. So we say if not current token is end keyword. That means we hit the end of the file. We don't need those. Then we're going to raise unexpected, which is a little helper function I made that essentially just says, hey, I didn't expect this token. I think that'll work. So now we have this parse body. So we're going to say auto body equals parse body env. And we want to return something for this. We want to return a node, and we don't have a node. So we're going to call this a def node. And we're going to pass in the name and the body And now we get to go create the node itself. Let's do that in a split over here so I can see both parts of the file at the same time. And let's try to put this in alphabetical order as well. I will just copy this identifier node, put it right here, call this def node, and what it takes is a literal node for the name, and a block node for the body. And we're going to need some ways to store that. Node pointer, literal node pointer for name, null pointer, and this is going to be a block node for the body. I may have to forward declare this so that it's happy. In fact, I know I will. Struct literal node. That makes that happy. And so we're going to do name, body, and auto format, please. Thank you. And this is going to be def node to Ruby is a to do, a fix me. So we don't know exactly what to do with that yet. And why are you, oh, it's not used. Just because I don't want to see that warning, I'm just going to do this for now. Because when I write this function, I'll use it somehow. Okay, so we have our def node. And no matching constructor. Let's just see what the error is with that. It's a node pointer, invalid conversion of node pointer to literal node pointer. Well, we know this is a literal node because that's all that parse identifier returns. So we can just do a static cast on this. Literal node pointer. And we know that parse body, the only thing it returns is a block node, so we can static cast that as well. And, oh, no, not body, block node, yeah. And now I believe everything is happy. Let's close that, get rid of our little highlighting, and run make again, and run our parser test. That's the Ruby one. There we go. Natalie parser test. Okay, syntax error, unexpected end. Unexpected end. That is not what I expected. I expected an end, not an unexpected end. So let's do this. Unexpected. Let's just call abort here. Some sort of debug flag for this would be nice. And let's run this through GDB and let's see exactly where that error is coming from. Backtrace. Okay. So, oh, it's coming from parse expression. Okay. So it's probably coming from there. 223. 223. Yeah, it's coming from here. Okay. So I have a theory. That we see the def keyword and we advance past that token. And then we grab the name, we parse identifier. But we don't skip any new lines before grabbing the body. I think that's possibly it. So I think we're getting to, I mean, how would I validate that? Now I've already lost it. How did I think that? Okay, so we're most certainly in parse body. Let me just look back through this backtrace. Pretty sure we're in parse body. No, we're not. We're not in parse body. We're in tree and then parse expression and then raise unexpected. Interesting. Let me look at that again. So 223, that's here. And our parse expression, sort of our main loop, our core while loop, but it's before we even start. We grab a null denotation. And I assume that it's parse def. Maybe I did this wrong. Okay, let's just do some printfs here. Let's say printf 1. Are we getting anywhere in this method at all, in this function? Sorry. 4. Okay, this is good old printf debugging. Did not expect that at all. It just crashed. Oh, right, because of our abort. So we're not even getting into that method function. I'm just gonna go with it. It's a method. Oh, okay. I think abort, when you call abort, it doesn't always flush the standard out. If I printed the standard error, I think it would come out. But anyway, so we got 1, 2, 3, and then the error. So we got all the way to here, and then we parse the body. Okay, this is kind of making sense, right? So we got the name. We start parsing the body. Let's just see, what is our current node here? Node equals %s. I need a little quickie helper for this. Current token, not node, token to Ruby env. What is our current token? Why don't you like that? Oh, inspect env. Turn that into a little string for us. What? Oh yeah, I renamed this recently. It's inspect string now. Okay. Cool. So what do we get? Node type is new line. Ah, see, that's kind of what I thought. I think it's choking on that. So when we go to parse body, the first thing we do is parse expression. And then parse expression tries to get a null denotation, but it skips new lines. It does, it skips new lines. So that shouldn't matter. So what if we go and paste this, a little bit more printf debugging, and we'll put a 2 here so I know which one it is. Okay. This is the one we're looking at. It's a new line, and then it's looking for an end. Okay, this is making sense now. Okay, I don't know if I can explain it. So this while loop is what's supposed to not let us try to parse an end, but it never saw the end because when it started, it was on a new line. So I think we need to do skip new lines here. And the whole skip new lines and skip semicolons thing is starting to get a little bit messy, and I think there's an abstraction or some sort of little trick that I'm missing here, but for now I'm going to go with this. And maybe something will emerge. I'm not going to try to fix it right away. Syntax error, unexpected end. Are we on the same test? Parser test 98. Yeah, we are. Let's just comment this one out just to make sure. Unexpected end. Okay. Skip new lines. Okay, well, still a little bit confused about why that is happening. These new lines are going to be the death of me. Node equals end, to node equals end. How did you get there? How did you get there? Is end keyword. Did I do something wrong on this is end keyword? No. Is end keyword is end keyword. Okay. What is it? Right here inside of the loop. That should never send a parse expression an end keyword. What? It doesn't compute. Oh, we made it out of this. Okay, I know what's happening. So we got past this. This actually did work. And then we checked to make sure it is an end keyword, and then we forgot to advance. So this is the ongoing theme of me writing this parser. I keep forgetting to advance the cursor of which token we're currently looking at. So once we see the end keyword, we need to advance the cursor. Ah, it's brutal, just brutal. Okay, so now we're getting the error that we expected, which is to say that we didn't implement how we build up this this S expression. So we can go fix that. Def node to Ruby. So what we're going to return here is going to look something like this. I'm just going to cheat and steal this. And we're going to say that we want it to be a defn, D-E-F-N, followed by the name of the whatever it is. So we're going to call this fname. Oh, mname, sorry. mname. Use of non-static data member mname. Yeah, I know. I want you to autocomplete. Tell me what you have. Mname. Okay, are you complaining about this? Complaining about this? What are you complaining about? Did I? Oh, I think, there we go. I just got an extra curly brace. That's the problem. So we can put, there we go. Yes, mname. Okay. So the name, we just want to turn it into a string name, but we want it to be a symbol value, intern, env. Okay, no member named name in literal node. Oh, it's not literal node, it's identifier node. Did I type that Yeah, I typed it everywhere. Wow. Wow, Tim. I did a static cast on it too. Identifier node. Yeah, wow. Yeah. I'm so smart. Am I really qualified to be doing this? No. That's okay. We're doing it anyway. Okay. So now we need this S expression with args in it. So it's going to be new S whoa, boy. Sex value, env, symbol value, turn env args. Okay, and then we're going to do one for nil for now because we don't really have a body to speak of. And then we're going to return that. And what don't you like about that? No matching constructor. Yeah, because we need these little squiggly braces. Okay, okie dokie. So embody. Let's just do this for now because I just want to get this test passing and move on. And so I can write more and better tests. So let's add that to our index. We got our test passing. Let's see if we can get this one with semicolon working. Oh my goodness, didn't mean to do that. Okay, unexpected semicolon, and this is where things are going to get a little weird. I think I want this to be skip new lines and semicolons. And again, I'm in this place where this is just a little weird and I don't know how to fix it exactly. I have a feeling that the tokenizer could help us out a little bit here, but I'm not sure what to do with that. Or current token is semicolon. Oh my. Oh my. Okay, so does that fix our broken test? It does. Then we can add that to the index. And we can decide what we want to do next. I don't think I want to work on args next. I want to work on something in the body. So like this one here. I want this to, because I just want to work on this part. So rather than returning a nil like this does, I want to return the body. And let's go ahead and add another one. So let's say 1 and 2. And I believe that's going to be slit2. Or is it going to be a block? I don't know. Let's run it through our existing parser to see. Yeah, so it's going to look like that. So let's have this one fail, and then we'll go make it work. So instead of this nil here, what we want to do is we really need to know if the body is empty, if the block, because this is a block node. And what do we do with this? We return a sexp called block, but I don't want that because our output doesn't have a block. It just puts it inline. Each expression just kind of gets added on to the end. So how do we want to do that? Oh, I don't know if you can hear it, but my wife is playing piano and you just get to hear it. Sorry. Okay, so I don't know how I want to handle this. I could just return the nodes. Turn m nodes. If I just return the nodes, then I could loop over them. It'd be cool if I had a bool is empty. I returned m nodes is empty. Oh, I would be returning a copy of the vector. Blah. What if I do this? Assuming this object still stays around, I think that's fine. And so yeah, I think that's all we need for that. So let's go back down to our def node, and let's just remove this entirely. So we're going to say auto sexp equals this, and then we're going to return the sexp here, and then we're going to say if mbody, we can delete this void here, if mbody is empty, then we add the thing we just deleted. Where'd it go? There it is. So we're going to add that. Let's say no, not mbody. I'm going to say sexp push, because it's basically an array. We're going to add this on the end of it. This is supposed to be a new. And then if it's not, then we're going to loop over them. So for auto node in mbody nodes. I think I have to dereference this. Maybe not. This argument is a member function. Begin has type const Natalie vector, but function does not work const. That's a different function. Could I mark all of these as const? I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just not going to do it. So nodes, we're going to take off this const for now. Okay, so did I need to dereference that? Yeah, I did. Okay, so now we can do another push, but we just want to push the node to Ruby MV, I believe. Could be wrong, but let's just give it a go and see what happens. It worked. Okay. Perfect. Well, I'm going to say that that's good for now. I'll work on arguments. Oh, here's another one. I can do this one as well. I'll work on arguments in another video, which is all of these other ones. So let's just move these up here. And let's make sure that that passes. No, it doesn't. Syntax error, unexpected end. So something about this new line here, it didn't like. So I probably need to skip new lines here as well. And semicolons. It's getting a little bit messy. Nope. Well, now I'm just guessing. Now I'm just guessing. So which test failed? 100. That's this one. So I think what we're saying is this does not work. Make ambit Natalie p parser dot parse. Paste that. I believe these need to be escaped. So do we get the same error? Syntax error, unexpected end. Let's throw an abort in here, and let's run it through GDB, which I forgot to do. Run, backtrace, okay. Parse body, line 277. 277, so right here, I think I need to do new lines and semicolons here. Does that fix it? It does. Okay. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Now I have a feeling that this method needs to pick up some of the things that we changed, like skip new lines and semicolons. I think I need to copy it up here. But since I don't have a failing test, I don't want to plan ahead for that. Let's run our test again. Let's get rid of our abort that we added here. Oh, it's still failing. Something's failing. No. Oh, I know why this failed, because we have one of the tests actually does want an exception raised. Okay, so let's add that, and let's call this good. So what we did was we parsed an empty method with a new lines and semicolons, and we parsed a method with a body. And I guess it'd be cool to just verify that it doesn't matter what's in the body. Like if it's, foo, like that. Ruby, let's run this through Ruby, and we'll just copy, we'll just copy this right here. Just validate, oops. What? Did I not copy that right? There we go. So hopefully everything just works. But it's always good to test our assumptions. And it does. So let's call this good. Parse method definitions with no args. And in the next video, I'll work on parsing the arguments. I'm just contemplating on whether I want to do it tonight, but I think it's going to be a little more involved because it's going to have another while loop and stuff. So I'm just going to call it good right here. So thanks for hanging out with me on this night of parser hacking, and I'll see you next time. Bye.